ACCUSTATS Video Productions presents from the Sands Hotel in Reno, Nevada, the Sands Regent number 13. Bill Incardona here, along with two special guests for this feature match. The man to my right, the legendary Buddy Hall, and the man to his right, Mr. Dave Bollman. Well, I'll tell you what, this tournament is really unraveling day by day, and people get knocked out, and there's just a few people left, but there's one strange name that I really never had the opportunity to watch this fellow play until this tournament, and his name is C.J. Wiley. He just defeated Nick Varner 11-5 or 11-6. He missed only one ball in the entire match. He was very impressive in defeating Nick Varner, buddy.
He shot a 9.29 on ACCUSTATS World Class.
And that's really playing some good 9-ball 9.29. And I'm kind of interested and curious in seeing how he responds to this in this next level against the Steve Mizerak.
Yeah, it looks like we have a new kid on the block.
Now, yesterday on the feature table, both Nick and C.J. Wiley were having problems pocketing balls on the break. And looks like in the first rack of today's match, the same thing. No ball on the break.
Well, I think this kid's been standing up good to the pressure, and I think he'll stand up good to the pressure here. He's a little gunfighter. He comes out of Texas. The only thing he's missing is his boots and his six-shooters.
Well, the way I see it, buddy, is that he has championship quality. You know, he has the quality of a champion, and that is he's a very sincere person. He doesn't allow things to distract him. He's he's very solid at the table. He has his strong level of concentration, and he usually performs up to his expectations.
Yeah, he takes good care of himself. He's got good nerves. What do you think about him, Dave? Yeah,
buddy, I really have never seen him play before. I've never met him. He's just been playing around.
Boom, here he is.
Yeah, I didn't go to Toronto. I hear he played real good there.
Yeah, he finished third in Toronto, Bill. I forgot about that. He finished third
I think
in Toronto.
He finished maybe fourth in Toronto, okay? But
fourth, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was it fourth?
Yeah. But third and fourth are very close. And the point is that he was able to finish that high in a world-class tournament with very little tournament experience, and that certainly says a lot about the young man from Dallas, Texas.
He loves to play. He really loves to play. And he said he was going to play hard this tournament and do, every match he wants to be the best match he ever played. So every match comes up, he's trying to play the best match he ever played. That's a good attitude.
I'll say one thing. He's made this first rack look very easy. He looks very relaxed and composed.
That's the thing that I notice about him, Dave. He is very relaxed and composed. He doesn't let pressures bother him. And that certainly is an attribute when you're playing in the competition, world-class competition. He just plays up to his capabilities, and you can't really ask yourself to do anything more than that. And believe me, he certainly does that. And if I could play in tournaments and play up to my capabilities without allowing the tournament pressure and outside pressures bother me, I may never lose a tournament. Really. You know what I mean, buddy?
Probably would never lose one, Bill. Probably would never lose one.
But unfortunately, in my bid for recognition, I allow things to bother me.
2 balls on the break. Do you crank this one across the corner?
Got a pretty natural bank here to just bank at one rail and stop the cue ball right there for position, and that's what he's going for.
Boom.
He made it look easy.
Yeah, well, he's definitely on a high. After beating the number 1 player in the world, he said to me yesterday, well, I know one thing, my next opponent can't be any tougher.
I think we... This CJ's tough, boy. He looks to me like he's going to be real hard to beat in this tournament. It might take Earl to beat him. This kid ain't afraid.
It really isn't. He's just...
He reminds me of a person just practicing, without any fear at all. He doesn't have any problems. He's not going to be penalized if he misses. He doesn't let anything bother him. He's got strong concentration. He's just having fun.
And boy, he really loves that cue.
What kind of cue is that, buddy?
That's one of mine, one of mine, one of mine.
Okay, now it's on the screen, the graphics on the screen now. Wiley has won 2 games to Mizerak's none. He's pocketed 18 consecutive balls and hasn't even made an error of any kind. He hasn't made a kicking, a safety, or a position error. So therefore, he's shooting 1,000.
You like those graphics, huh?
And
That's pretty nice. I like that. You can keep a running score as the game progresses.
Right.
okay, now he does have a pretty good break. Now, yesterday, buddy, you said to me that's his weak area.
That
his
is
break.
his weak area.
But I don't believe so, buddy. My opinion is that he has a very good break. He may not have the explosive break of a David Howard, Johnny Archer, or Earl Strickland, but he has a good break.
He's got a solid break. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
he hits the one solid.
Yes, he does, and he puts a lot of velocity into the break also.
He's playing a veteran. He's playing a world champion in his own rights, and we need to talk a little bit about Steve here. Steve, how is Steve going to stand up to the pressure of this youngster from nowhere, not missing no balls?
Well, Steve, going into the match, by most people, is expected to win. But the longer C.J. Wiley stays around on the tour, the more noticeable he'll become. And not that Steve isn't a favorite in this match, but C.J. Wiley, in my opinion, is an extremely strong player. Steve Mizerak knows how to play the game, so he's technically a better player. But execution...
Took his eye off
Execution is a big part in this game.
He took his eye off the
Yeah, he
ball.
definitely took his eye off the ball. He tried to spin it and took his eye off the ball. See, he's making these shots seem very simple, and yet they're not. And the reason they seem simple is because he doesn't take much time in making a decision what to do. He takes a look at the situation, and immediately he knows what to do, and he just does it. He doesn't, study it, or he's not really a deliberate player. He's just an instinct player. He plays on instinct, and he has a tremendous feel for the game.
That's well said, Bill. You're right. A lot of people play a certain angle to get just right, to get to another spot and all that, where some people just have a natural feel for the whole table. Like some basketball players have a natural feel for the whole court. And he's like that. He's got a good feel for the table, a good feel for the surroundings, and it doesn't take him long to make decisions. When he makes a decision, he goes straight to it, executes his shot, and goes to the next one.
That's right, and he's just a natural player in that sense. And maybe in a year or 2 years after he's around the best players in the world, they'll probably talk to him about different parts of the game where he can improve, and then he'll get all
messed up
like the rest of us. Right, exactly. He'll get messed up, and he'll start thinking at the table. When you start thinking at the table, then you're really messed up.
Yeah, he starts thinking.
But right now, he's just having fun.
Yeah.
Okay, now Steve steps to the table once again with an opportunity to put a game on his side. CJ filling the pocket of the ball in the break. Now the 2 ball is the ball that's near the left-hand side pocket. Well, CJ's missed 1 ball in 3 racks. Steve's missed 1 ball. And Steve finds the cue ball almost scratching in the side pocket.
Sure.
Okay, now this type of a shot here is difficult in the sense that he has to shoot over the side. He's going to have a problem bridging. Okay, striking it very nicely.
Boy, he's a great player. I mean, some people just really know how to play. And Steve is one of those people. I mean, you just can't say enough about him. I mean, he really, really knows how to play.
Well, I don't think anyone will argue with you there, buddy. Steve is probably the most knowledgeable player in the world today. He fits right into that mold that you come out of. And I love to watch him play. But he's having a little problem now. He's trailing 3 games. I think he allowed the cue ball to get away from him, scratching in the side.
He's having a little trouble getting into this game. That might come with 45. Like we were talking about the other day, the difference between CJ and somebody like me. I look at the board and I say, oh, man, I got to play Steve. Right. And CJ looks at the board and says, "Oh boy, I get to play Steve." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He just
Man,
had
look
me-
here, I get to play Steve Mizerak. You know, there's a difference.
Yeah, there certainly is.
See, his execution, his ability to execute, like drawing this ball here, is going to be hardly no problem for him.
Very, very good feel for the game.
Yeah. His execution is superb. Yeah, he plays the game good. He shoots shots that, you know, it requires you to hit the cue ball. You know what I mean? He
If you
likes
just-
that type of shots.
If you just watch his concentration in his face, the intensity in his face when he's at the table, that'll tell you that he's really into the game and nothing else. He doesn't allow anything else to distract him. Game number 4 goes to C.J. Wiley from Dallas, Texas, who leads 4-0 over Steve Mizerak. And he doesn't drop the chalk or bump his stick on the table. In other words, he's a very composed player.
Right.
He's not nervous at all. And at the age of 27, that certainly says a lot.
Now, he's been around a lot. He just hasn't played a lot of tournaments, but I've been hearing of CJ for the last 10 years. He started out playing young, but he's just made his appearance on this. You know, he's really a young, good-looking kid. Takes good care of himself. Plays good. Got a lot going for him. And right now, the game's starting to peak. A lot of advantages to coming into tournament play right now.
And another advantage that he has is that he barrages you, like Earl Strickland. Now, in a match of equal importance on the adjacent table between Kim Davenport and Jim Ripley, that scores 2-0 in favor of Davenport. Now, they started at the same time Steve and CJ started, and CJ already has 4 wins.
Yeah.
So therefore, all of a sudden you look up and you're behind 4-5-0,
Yeah.
and you don't know what happened to you.
Yeah, right. You're like, well, what happened? You're right.
It's because he doesn't take much time in his decision making. He goes right to the shot.
That was a nice shot, just staying out of the hole there.
Okay, now the
And
two.
that was a good shot. A lot of people don't realize just how good a shot he made. That he had to keep the cue ball away from the corner, knowing he's going to hit the one on an angle to go right at the corner. He made a nice shot there.
Okay, now the 2 and the 8 are on the right-hand side of our screen. The combination, I believe, is makeable, but he's gotten on the wrong side of the 2 ball. He's going to have a problem controlling the cue ball and the object ball on this shot. He was able to break the 3 on the other side of the table free of the 7. He does have a bank on the 2, I do believe. The 3 now is located near the left-hand side pocket. The 4 ball is the ball that's frozen on the bottom cushion in between the 5 and the 6. He wants to go after the shot cross-side. He's trailing by 4 games. He knows that he has to do something offensively.
He's ducking. He's thinking about playing the 2, 1 rail underneath the 5.
But the problem with ducking right here is that he's not guaranteed that he's going to duck successfully.
Well, you know, I couldn't there's no way in the world I could duck from here anyway. I'm down 4 games. I've got a shot to shoot. If I make it, get on the 3, I can win the game.
I like his choice.
I'm never going to duck there.
I like
I'm
his
gonna
choice.
shoot.
Okay, now he's able to pocket the 2 twice cross-side, but here's where the real problem comes into play right here. Position on the 4. Note where the 4 is. He has to go. He has to get down lower than that. I don't believe he's
Yeah, I
going to.
think he's got a shot.
I don't know. It's very, very close. Let's take a look at his expression on his face. That may tell the story.
He'll try to go into the 7 here with this. He might go this side to 7 a little bit.
He's going to be okay. He's going to be okay.
He's got to go up and down.
Okay, now he has a very, very testy shot on the 5. He must hit the 5 very thinly and go up the table and back down, like Buddy said. Well,
Well
he struck
done.
it very nicely.
Oh, he's a great
Very
player.
nicely.
He is really a great player. He made that look so simple.
He does things with such little effort. He makes the game appear quite simple. Exactly right. This is a type of a shot that requires a good, firm stroke and a soft one. Staying on the upper part of the 9 ball and not allowing the cue ball to go too far across table, giving yourself a reasonably good shot on the 9. And game number 5 goes to Steve Mizerak. He finally wins a game. He now trails in the match 1-4. He's had a couple of opportunities to win a game and failed on the opportunities that he was presented with. But finally, he was able to run the balls nicely and push a button on his side. And I think games are going to come a little bit easier to him right now. You know,
the first one's always the toughest one to win. That's the one I usually shake through, and after that one, you can get over the jitters. You know.
What Steve needs right here is a good break, make a couple balls in a break, get a shot on the run and on the 1 and run out, and so he'll feel like he's getting back into this match.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the type of a break that he needed. I do believe he can pocket the 1 in the side. The 2 ball is cross table. The 2 ball is cross table. The lone ball near that right cushion, that's the 2 ball.
Maybe he'll come down table with the 1.
I think he'll shoot the 1 down in the corner past the 9 ball, because the 1 is actually a little ways down the rail from the side. It doesn't look that way on the screen, but I'm sitting here looking at the table, and you can tell it is. I think he overcut it quite a bit.
He missed it bad.
Okay, now the 3 ball is the ball that's on the other side of the 7 and 8 near his bridge hand. That's the 3 ball. There's excellent cue ball speed right there, fellas. Excellent cue ball speed. Now he'll be able to play field goal position between the 7 and 8.
Does he want to do that, or does he want to come back
I think he'll go out to the middle of the table, just past the 8, and cut the 3 down there.
Yeah, that's the place to go to right there where he's pointing.
Okay, notice.
Much larger room for air.
Right. He looked at both areas for position. He decided that this is the one he likes. And he hit it perfectly, positioning the cue ball in an ideal position on the table to pocket the 3, twice across table, position for the 5.
Don't take him long to shoot, does it?
It certainly doesn't.
It's almost as fast as Lou Butera.
I think his boy plays a little better 9 ball than Lou, though. Wouldn't you think?
Yes, I believe he does.
Well, he's certainly proving
that. Touch. That might.
He's certainly proving that.
There.
No, it's going to come short. He's certainly proving that 9 ball is a young man's game.
Oh yeah.
Game number 6. No problem for C.J. Wiley. At the end of 6 games, 5-1 in favor of C.J. Well, if this is any indication how this young man's going to perform in future tournaments, I think a lot of players are going to have to move over and make a little room.
Oh yeah, they're going to have to make room for one more.
Okay, he's pocketed
a new kid on the block.
We're running out of room out here.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you something, Dave. We'll watch a lot of them come, and we'll watch a lot of them go, and we'll still be here.
That's right.
He's pocketed 40 balls, only missing once. He had 1 error in his position. He's shooting a .952, very reminiscent of the match he played against Nick Varner.
You know, buddy, this pool tour.
Yeah, boy, he played great against Nick. He's shooting a .952 now.
This pool tour is very similar to when I was on the golf tour. I've seen a lot of young golfers go out on the tour and be playing excellent when they first go out there, and after they've been out there 6 months, the rest of the pros have got their game all screwed up.
Yeah.
And you see the same thing happening on this pool tour. Young guys will come out and be playing great, and within a few tournaments they'll be trying to make little adjustments in their stroke, and before you know it, instead of finishing 5th, 6th, they're finishing 17th through 24th and then out of the money. And it takes a long time to figure out just exactly the things you want to incorporate in your game and the things you don't want to incorporate in your game.
Right. The habits that are good and the habits that
That's
are bad.
exactly right.
Being able to tell the difference.
Center pocket, center pocket, center pocket.
But it looks to me like CJ's not going to have to make any adjustments in his game.
I know one thing that he won't have to worry about is the shot clock.
That's for sure.
He's not going to have to worry about the shot clock.
And at the end of the game, number 7, C.J. Wiley now leads in the match 6-1.
And somebody that plays this fast and plays this well can be very intimidating at the table.
Oh.
Because you watch the games disappear and you're behind. It's been just a few moments and Miz is behind 6-1, and that makes it look awful big.
Yeah. They win the game so fast. It seems like it takes forever to catch up.
Yeah, when you run a racquetball, it takes like 3 or 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And you say, wow,
30.
I only got 1 game for that? In 3 or 4 minutes, CJ puts up 2 or 3 games on the wire.
Yeah.
And once again, he's pocketed the ball on the break and has come up with a shot. Very quickly, the 2 ball underneath the foot spot, the 3 ball in the center of the table. The 2 balls on the near the right-hand side pocket are the 4 and the 5. I do believe the 4 will go into the side pocket.
Yeah, Johnny Archer has a real hard time with CJ. They've played several times. Johnny has a hard time with CJ. CJ's a great little player. He's a good player. We can't say enough about how well he plays, really.
And thanks to Pat Fleming, who opted to do the match between C.J. Wiley and Steve Mizerak. He says, let's follow this young player from Dallas a few matches to see how he responds. I said, that's fine with me.
Did you see the shot he accepted there on that 3?
Well, no problem. No problem.
I mean, he just accepted that distance there like it wasn't nothing. Did you see that?
It took him 3 seconds to shoot it, and he split the wicket.
Yeah, I mean, he just 2-stroked it, boom, and he's like...
What's that tell you? Is he telling you something?
It means he's not afraid. That's exactly what
He
that
certainly
means.
has sent a message. When you elect to play position on a long shot like that, you're telling your opponent and anyone else is watching that, hey, this
I'm
is
not
just
afraid of the distance.
This is me right here, pal. You know.
Well, he might have scratched here.
I believe he's
So it
allowed
rolls
the
uphill
cue
a
ball.
little bit.
It rolled uphill slightly.
It rolls uphill just a little bit there.
And when they announced CJ prior to the match beginning, okay, he really didn't get the response from the crowd that he really deserves because he's relatively unknown. But the more they watch him play, the more they're going to appreciate C.J. Wiley from Dallas, Texas.
Absolutely.
After game number 8, C.J. Wiley now widens the gap 7-1. And notice his percentage keeps going up. Now he's at .967, pocketing 58 out of 59 balls. That's a pretty good percentage. Only having 1 error on position. Seems to me this is a notch above world-class speed.
You know, he looks good at the table.
The other ball.
Solid. At the
Okay, once again, his break very quickly. You have a chance now to reconsider about the man's break. Now he's pocketed.
I still think that's the weakest part of his game, and it looks pretty good. You know what I mean?
Okay, thanks a lot.
You know, even his break looks pretty good, and I think that is his weakest.
Okay, C.J. Wiley has broken the ball 7 times, and he has pocketed a ball on the break 4 of the 7 times. At least 1 ball. He has not yet fouled or scratched on a break. So therefore, that's pretty good breaking.
Percentages, isn't it?
Sure, he's controlling the cue ball well, not fouling in 7 breaks.
Boy, that's a good stat to be able to hang up there, isn't it?
It certainly is, thanks to Pat Fleming.
Well, I'm telling you, Pat, you're just covering all the bases, buddy. You and young Patrick are doing a heck of a job.
Well, he knows the important areas of the game that he wants to
Absolutely.
convey to the viewers out there, so they'll be a little more informed on what areas they should be concentrating on and improving in.
The ACCUSTAT magazine that Pat used to do, it would give you so many different areas. It'd give you different places like your break percentages, shots missed, kicking errors, all that. It showed you exactly what part of your game you needed to work on. It was the greatest magazine I ever saw.
Yes, it certainly was very, very informative and very helpful. You know, he's come up a little bit short, but he can go 2 cushions out of the upper left-hand corner. Playing position for the 6 in the upper right-hand corner. Steve has an excellent control of the cue ball and also cue ball speed, as we have just witnessed. Okay, now this is an important shot. As you got rather little more of a straighter in angle than he wanted, but no problem. This is game number 9. Steve hasn't had that many opportunities at the table. His opponent has not allowed him to be at the table that much.
Billy, looks to me like Steve's getting a little mad here at himself, and he's not going to let this young whippersnapper just take him off as easy as he's making it look. It looks like he's got a little adrenaline going now, and I think you're going to see a real squash him break here.
Okay, 2 for Mizerak, 7 for Wiley, and you're right about the break. Steve has one of the better breaks on the tour today. He hits because he hits the one ball very squarely.
He really does. So many times I've seen him break, and the cue ball just jump back straight back down the line from which he shot it, about 2 feet, and just squat right in the middle of the table.
He doesn't put the velocity into the break like a David Howard or an Earl Strickland or Johnny Archer, but he hits the one ball so squarely he gets really the most. Oh yeah,
Steve, I've seen him hit the ball so hard the cue ball jump all the way back to the foul line.
Notice little movement of the cue ball straight back, and strong indication of how squarely he hits the one. Okay, he was able to pocket the ball in the break. Now he's got a 2-9 combination. He desperately needs to pocket this 2-9 combination. He's already trails in the match by 5 games. Very important shot. Okay, game number 10 goes to Steve Mizerak, who narrows the gap now at 3 games to 7. Yeah, that's the type of a break that he needs, Dave. He needs to control the cue ball off the break, make a ball in the break naturally, and come up with a shot, run the balls, or maybe even get a short rack like he just did with a combination or a billiard.
Well, he knows if he's going to get back in this match, he needs to run 3 or 4 racks right here, just to narrow the gap a little bit.
And he is very mindful that the table is giving up balls on the break, so therefore control is the key to success from this point on for Steve Mizerak.
Well, Steve, like you say, when you got somebody up there that really, really knows how to play, they're dangerous at all times.
Now, notice Steve Mizerak's percentage, 889. That's certainly world-class play for sure. Once again, look at the cue ball. Look at the cue ball. That's really that's a thing of beauty. Believe me. If he can do that, he'll get right back in this match. No problem.
If he can keep doing that, he'll more than get back in the match. Look at these balls.
It looks like he might have a little problem with the 4 ball here by the side pocket.
Yeah. I believe you can play these.
Okay, now the 4 ball, the ball that Dave alluded to is by the side pocket.
Right down here.
The 3 is in back of the 4. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. He played bad position on the 3. Now the 4 might be tough.
Now he's got a very, very difficult shot for position. He can go over and back and play the 4 in the upper right-hand corner, or he can draw it back and play position for the 4 in the same pocket that he's playing the 3 in.
See, I don't like that choice there. I like the other choice. I like playing both balls in the same pocket.
Okay, well, by playing position for both balls in the same pocket, he's going to end up with a much longer shot on the 4.
Yeah, but he's going to end up with a, well, this way here you could get behind the 6. You could have done a lot of things wrong.
Well, I agree with that assessment, buddy. I really have a problem arguing with your points, okay? So
we're not arguing.
Because I won't. If Brady was here, we'd be still battling back and forth. Stubborn as he is.
Here comes the Miz.
Steve Mizerak, very determined player. Determination and desire is intensified considering how well his opponent, C.J. Wiley, is playing. He's certainly not going to be outplayed in this match by a relatively unknown 27-year-older. Okay, that's game number 11.
They're both playing great.
Game number 11 goes to Steve Mizerak.
With that
Edges a little bit closer to C.J. at 4 games to 7.
With that run out, Steve, he just moved his average back up over 900.
They're both shooting over 900. That's amazing. That is amazing. They're both playing over 900. Oh, you come up dry. Come up dry. It didn't look like he hit him quite a square that
Well,
time.
you know, I really think that he was a little hasty in breaking the balls there. He didn't take his time. He really didn't put the velocity behind the break that he had in the earlier wrecks.
Right, he didn't hit the balls really square.
And you really can't afford to give a guy like C.J. Wiley an opportunity at the table, because in this match, C.J. has missed, I believe, no balls or 1 ball. Steve only has missed 2 balls, but yet Steve trails by 3 games. So therefore, opportunities at the table is very important, because neither player is erring or is faltering. And this young man is extremely impressive.
Well, he's a good player. He just, credit where credit's due, folks. He's just a good player. Yeah, that's just hard to beat.
Okay, and he's going to want an angle on the 7 to get cross table for the 8.
I'm not
Center
sure he needs
table.
anything. I think just about wherever he gets it. Watch him snatch this one to the end
Well,
rail.
this certainly isn't the ideal
Follow
angle.
this down, I think, buddy.
Yeah, right. Here we go.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I'm telling you, it just doesn't matter. I told you, it don't matter where he gets. He feels like he can execute anything.
Oh, I didn't see the 8 ball. The 8 ball was right behind this gentleman's head. I didn't realize it was there.
Okay, game number 12 goes to C.J. Wiley. Steve Mizerak threw up 3 quick games on C.J. C.J. finally got a chance at the table and responded to the challenge. Didn't have any problem with it. Running the balls very nicely.
Cranked that 7 in, jerked his rock to the other end and back down like it wasn't nothing.
It really makes it look easy, doesn't it,
Low
buddy?
center. It was low center, too. It wasn't no left or right. It was low center.
Okay, now both players have missed 2 balls, but notice C.J. has pocketed 69 balls to Steve's 33. And that's probably the difference of the deficit here, 8 games to 4. He's had more opportunities. He's been breaking the balls, usually coming up with a shot. But most importantly, he's able to take advantage of the opportunities that he's been presented with. Okay, now for the first time in the match, CJ has scratched on the break. And this is something that's definitely a momentum stopper. But he was able to pocket 2 balls on the break. Those 2 balls will be spotted on the foot spot, which will create problems for the incoming player.
Texas Express.
Now, it looks like Steve wants to play the 9 here. Now, this is a very difficult shot, but since the 3 and the 5 are tied up on the foot spot and the possibility of Steve putting CJ behind the 8 or close to the 8 in the event that he misses, is enticing enough for him to play the shot.
Well,
This is a very difficult shot. Not much room for error on this shot.
I think you'll see the cue ball going back behind the 6 here.
yeah, I do too. I think he'll be real close kin to the 6 when this is over if he misses it. If he misses it.
That's a good call, Dave. Cue ball behind the 6. Steve not able to pocket the 9. Well, he really didn't figure he would, but he wanted to pocket the 9, don't get me wrong. But the shot was so difficult that we didn't expect him to pocket it.
He knew. I just tried to tie something else up now.
He knew that he'd put CJ in trouble even if he didn't pocket the 9. And that's exactly what he's
roll
done.
6 down on top of the 8.
Yeah. What do you think the shot here is, Bill? Give us a quick.
Yeah, well, I agree with you fellas. There's no question about.
Oh,
now
that
he's broken
is
up
not
the
the
3 and the
Worst thing he could
5.
have done right there.
See, that's where that's another area he may be very weak in. You understand what
Well,
I'm saying?
there's no question that the
Carelessness.
experience. Well, that's experience there, buddy. That's not carelessness. That's experience. You pick that up with experience. And once that burns him, and then it burns him again, he'll realize that, hey, I'm doing something wrong here. I'm losing games I shouldn't be losing, and the way I'm losing the games is this way. So I've got to try to do something differently.
You reach out and grab that hot stove 2 or 3 times. You quit grabbing it.
Yeah.
In this case, that hot stove could cost him 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have the opportunity to listen to the tapes, you don't have to worry about grabbing the hot stove because you know it's there before you grab it now.
Right. I sure like the way Steve plays. Some people you know they're good players, and some people you watch play, and you just know that person is a great player.
Yes, I totally agree with that assessment. Steve has always been a favorite player of mine. You know, I played years ago in the Stardust days when they had the tournaments at the Stardust, and I was really definitely awestruck by Steve Mizerak. I mean, every time he went to the table, I was there in attendance to watch him play.
Yeah.
Believe me, there was no other man in the world I'd rather watch play than the Miz, Steve
I'd
Mizerak.
still love to watch him play.
After game number 13, the Miz now climbs a little bit closer to CJ at 5 games to 8. Okay, now notice that both players are shooting 930s, 930 and 932. Steve now is pocketed 40 balls, only missing 2. 1 error on position. Okay, now he's pocketed twice, 2 balls. Excuse me, he's pocketed 2 balls, and the balls are open. He has an opportunity to come yet a little bit closer to the lead if he can keep his mind on his business.
I'm going to
Don't
go
do
out on a
anything
limb
foolish.
here, Billy, and say that you can just rack this up as 8-6 now.
Okay, now this is the important
2 to the
shot.
4 is the tough one.
This is the important shot in the rack right here. He has to hit the 2 ball very fully, and so he can get the cue ball straight back, like this.
Boy, see,
That's execution there.
That's execution there, boy. That's playing.
Very, very nicely done. This thing just effortlessly, a little bit like yourself, buddy. He's got such a strong stroke. His delivery is so beautiful. He comes right through the ball, and he gets tremendous action off of the cue ball with just little effort. This is game number 14. Steve Mizerak definitely needs this game. Okay, now he has to make sure he doesn't brush to 6 here.
You know, you're right, Dave. Him breaking that ball out live will cost him 3 games. It's cost him 2 right here if Steve gets out. It's cost him 2. And he's still shooting.
Oh, he hit that shot perfect.
Okay, there's some of the unappreciable shots right there that a lot of people don't even notice, but that was a very nice touch. He knew he had to go into the 8. Excellent control of the cue ball. Game number 14 looks like it's going to go to Steve. And it does.
Just from knowing how to play.
All of a sudden, this match has a little bit of a heartbeat here, buddy. 6 games for Mizerak and 8 for CJ.
Yeah. But Steve, I think, has realized that this boy is not going to give it to him, that he's going to have to go get it. If he wants it, he got to go get it. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to go get it.
That's right.
All of a sudden, now, Steve Mizerak has gone in front of CJ in the statistic department as 942 to 932.
Look at these
unbelievable.
stats on
Okay,
this
and
too.
this is certainly a very, very well-played match, as we can see by the stats.
All right, boy.
Okay, there's that
Now
excellent
there's
cue ball
great
control.
break.
So it's so important to control the cue
There's
ball
the
off the
break.
break, and it's really in evidence right now. You know, Steve has been controlling the cue ball off of the break. Only thing he needs to do is pocket the ball on the break. Okay, now he pocketed the 2 ball on the
Can't
break.
reach it.
Now the next ball is the 3 ball, which is located nearest the lower left-hand corner. It's very, very. Steve wasn't wanting to shoot this shot with his left hand, but I don't really recall ever watching him shoot with his opposite hand.
You mean his right hand?
His right hand.
Excuse me,
is
with his right
opposite
hand. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, this guy come in the pool room one day and he played this guy, and he was a left-handed player, and he just robbed him. He says, the guy quit. He says, come on. He says, I'll play you some more, and I'll play left-handed. And the guy said, well, you got me, and he'd been playing left-handed all the time.
This is a very important shot here. I
People
don't
just
see,
don't notice some things.
buddy. This is a very important shot here. What does he do with the cue ball here? The 8 ball precludes him from going 2 cushions around, playing position for the 4, which is behind his bridge hand. How do you get position here? You go into the 8.
Trying to drop, trying to
You go into the 8 here.
That's pretty good. He hit it with a reverse English.
He's going to clear it. He does have a shot. It's not the type of a shot that I would want to shoot, but he does have a shot.
I like coming to the side rail with like left-hand English. You know, coming all the way over to the side rail with that particular shot.
Center pocket. He's very comfortable out there. He definitely feels now that he has a chance to win this match.
He knows he's got a chance to win it, especially breaking the way he's breaking. He knows.
Both of these fine players are still on the winner's side. The winner of this match will be guaranteed 5th
He's
place.
going to be too close to it. Too close to
Might
it.
get past it.
Too close to it.
Okay,
Oh,
now
he
that's the
got just
first
got-
position error Steve has
He knew
made
it when
in
he hit
this
it,
match.
too. I see great players. They can tell. I mean,
Yeah.
the second they hit it, I mean, that ball, the cue ball was not 4 inches from the 5 after he hit it before he turned around and walked. Knew he hit
Knew
it
he
bad.
hit it too hard.
Well, 9-ball and pool in general is such a difficult game to master. I mean, you can't master it. There's no way you can master
No.
it. And mistakes of that kind are made so often.
common
Really,
leakage.
they're common. They're common. And it's inevitable that if you play, you're going to make mistakes like that. If you play regularly, you're just going to have to make mistakes like that, and you have to realize that that's going to happen. Steve's not going to allow this to carry to the next ball. He's going to just concentrate and
Is he banking
get right back to his
Is he banking it?
right back to his job. What he tried to do there, buddy, as
Drop
you well
below the
know,
9.
he tried to bank the 6 and play the safety at the same time. Okay, he wasn't able to bank the 6 nor play the safety. He's created a problem for himself. He trails by 2 games, and he really can't allow this youngster from Dallas,
Well,
Texas.
Let's check the distance here on the.
Any
this is his
more
first time
opportunities
up.
like this.
This is his first time up in 3 racks. Let's see how he adjusts to that. See how
And
he
he-
comes with it.
And notice the indecision out there on his part. That's the
No,
first
he just,
time.
No, he's just wiping his shaft off. There was something on his shaft. There was just something on his shaft, Bill.
Very nice cue ball control. Very nice cue ball control, by the way.
That's
I've
muscling.
never
isn't
seen
it?
anybody make those kind of shots look that easy.
That's like muscling. That's playing with muscle there, isn't it?
That's
It's playing with a very straight stroke. I
that's
know
very
that.
descriptive, buddy. It's exactly what he's done. He's playing with muscle and doing it so well. After game number 15, I believe Steve Mizerak trails by 3 games in the match. It's 6 games to 9.
I mean, that shot didn't bother him at all, did it?
Really didn't.
Just no problem.
As soon as he got that little thing off his shaft, whatever it was, he just sat down.
2 strokes didn't pop.
2 strokes, boom, split the wicket.
Well, the statistics seem fairly even.
Folks, I'm impressed.
Steve Mizerak, 2 position errors to his opponent's 1, 3 missed balls to CJ's 2, and he trails by 3 games.
9:15 and 9:36.
Okay, now CJ failed to pocket the ball on the break, and I believe he's left Steve a billiard on the 1-7.
We get to
But
see
the
the
problem
first
with that
push
shot is the problem with playing the billiard 1-7 here, buddy, is that what's going to happen with the 1 ball?
Oh man, I'm looking backwards. I was looking at our monitor instead of the table, and I was thinking that the 9 was the other end instead of, but it's the 1.
Now the 2 ball is the ball nearest the left-hand side pocket on the cushion there. 3 ball is hanging in the lower left-hand pocket. Now that's excellent control of the 1 ball. Excellent control of
That's
the 1 ball.
wise play there, folks. That's really wise play. Making sure he's got the 1 in front of the hole.
Now he would like to hit this on the thin sides, so he will avoid hitting the 6 by the foot spot. And he's done that very nicely. To near perfection, I may add.
That's what you get when you got great players up there, boys. You just get entertainment. That's all there is to it. He don't want to touch it.
Well, that's okay if he touches it softly.
He spun his cue ball down table here.
Yeah, inside English, knowing that he
Spinning.
that he
his
needs to
rock.
get he needed to get down table for the 4 ball behind the 3, very nicely. Drawing the ball back for position on the 4. Now he's gonna have to draw the ball in between the 6-9 here. It looks like.
You know what Steve is doing here
He
that
would like-
makes him such a dangerous competitor right here? He's just keeping the heat on.
He would like to draw the cue ball
You know what I mean?
above the 6, if possible. If the angle's available, he would like to draw above the 6. But if it's not available, then he'll have to settle for drawing the cue ball in between the 6-9, accepting the longer shot on the 5. Something that he doesn't want, but if he has to do it, he'll do it.
He's keeping the heat on right now. You know, as long as he keeps the heat on, there's a good chance he can pull this match out.
Sure. Well, he was able to draw the ball on the above the 6, ending up with a much easier shot and a much better angle on the shot for position on the 6. Okay, now he needs to go. He needs to go.
He's got his angle.
Okay, so he definitely has his angle. Maybe a little more than he wanted.
All right, but he'd rather have this than no. You know what I mean?
This is a very important shot in this rack right here. This seems to be the shot. Okay, he's
He
able
won't
to
miss
deal
that
with
shot
it
1 out of
successfully.
40 times. I didn't mean to talk on you, Bill. Go
That's
ahead.
okay.
He won't miss that shot 1 out of 40 times.
Steve Mizerak playing beautifully, responding to the pressure. Very nicely done.
Excellent.
2 cushions down table. Perfect speed of the cue ball. Game number 16 looks like it's going to go to Steve. And
We
it
have a
does.
match.
Yeah, we certainly do. Steve Mizerak 7, only trailing by 2 games to C.J. Wiley's 9. But most importantly right now, Steve's at the table, and he has been pocketing balls on the break, and he has been controlling the cue ball. So he could be very dangerous from this point on.
I know exactly
Absolutely.
what Steve's thinking right now. He wants to go ahead and just run out this entire set. He doesn't want to
Absolutely.
give C.J. any more shots at all.
Well, he knows that CJ's going to make them.
That's right. He
Okay.
knows that if he does give C.J. one shot, it's not that hard
Look
for
at
C.J.
the
to run
stats
2
on
racks and
this
out. So
match.
Steve
Look.
wants to run 4 racks and out right now.
Look at the stats on this match.
Stats on this particular match are fairly even.
Unbelievable.
Fairly even. Both players playing remarkably well.
Unbelievable.
Okay, he pocketed the corner ball. Once again, excellent cue ball control. He does have a shot. 9-7 CJ. Steve looks to narrow the gap once again. He does have a shot. Now, they'll quickly identify the balls. The 3 ball is nearest to the lower right-hand corner. The 4 ball is the ball next to the 7. The 7 is next to this right-hand side. Now, the 4 ball is between the 7 and the 8. He pocketed 2 on the break. The problem ball is the 5 ball. The 5 and the 6 are located on the bottom cushion, nearly frozen. And the reason the 5 ball is the problem, because you have to get accurate
I think
position,
the 9 ball is going to be an
precise
advantage
position.
for him there, Billy, because he'll be able to pocket the 5 and stop the cue ball with the 9 ball.
Yes, he
position
can do
on the
that.
6.
Yeah, he can do that if he's given the correct angle to do that. That's the problem with this rack
No,
right
you
now.
guys,
The 5
don't
and
overlook
the
the
6.
3 to the 4. And
Oh,
then
yes.
from the 4 to the 5.
The 3 to the 4. He should have played a 4-7 combination here, it looks like.
Yeah.
Well,
He might
he's
play
gotten a little too
billiard on the
far.
7 and then shoot the 4 down in the corner.
Yeah, he's almost forced to do that now.
If he has the shot to bank the 4 across the side, he may elect to do that. If he has the angle to come around for the 5.
I don't think he has the angle to come around. He's got a problem here. He's got a problem. He must deal with it.
He can't bank it and draw the ball 2 rails using the end rail and the side rail and come back down.
I don't think so. I don't think
I
so.
believe that's what he's looking at.
I believe he's almost forced to play the billiard here.
Well, if he already has an angle to do that, then I wouldn't try to get an angle again.
That was his problem.
Okay,
right
now
there.
it
He had
looks
to make
like
sure
he already had
left
one
the 4 on
angle.
the rail.
Let's
He
take a
already-
look, Rick Bowling, our cameraman. Take a look and see if the 4 will pass the 8 into the upper right-hand corner.
I'm afraid he's going to have to play the 4-8
It won't pass it and let the
combination.
cue. It won't pass it and let the cue ball be able to travel back down table.
Well, from the angle that I have and from Rick Bowling's angle, it doesn't appear that it'll go. He's going to have to play the 8. And he may make the 4 and, well, look at this. He's played a smart shot, a safety. And that is a smart shot because controlling the 4 to the point where you can play position on the 5 was a big problem. He realized it and played the safety.
That's right.
Well, you take somebody that knows how to play, boy. They just make you have to earn everything you get.
Say Steve's earned his right to be only 2 games behind this young man. This young man has played flawlessly in this match. Steve's not going to allow it to escape him if he can do any. If he has anything to say about it, this match will not elude Steve Mizerak. He played a good safety and got rewarded for it. Now he got the luxury of putting cue ball in hand, but still, the 5 and the 6 is a problem. It's still a problem.
This is perfect the way to do it here. If he cue ball control, he'd drop it right down between the 5 and 6.
Notice the way he's playing position on the 5. He's electing to play the ball, the 5 ball that is, in the lower left-hand corner pocket, following the ball down the table, giving himself much more accurate position this way. Look at this.
Playing it
Look
the
at
direction he
this.
had to go.
Well, I'll tell you, he hit the 5 ball a little rough. He went into the 9 and definitely got rewarded. He's really elated right now. And if it goes in, he'll look up and he'll still do something to show us that he's really happy about the outcome of what happened.
He is tickled with that.
Well, Bill, I tell you one thing. It sure didn't look like this match was going to wind up as a thriller in Manila.
Well, I tell you what.
Here it is, 9-8 now. It's, at one time, CJ was ahead 6-1, I think.
This tape is definitely a keeper, Pat. This is what. Yeah, this tape is this tape is definitely a keeper. We can put that in our preferred tape area. Okay, 69 pocketed balls to 73, very close there. 3 balls missed by Steve, only 2 for his opponent, CJ. Scratching on the break once, 1-0. CJ scratching one time. He had 1 kicking error, CJ to Steve's none. Position errors, Steve had 3 position errors to CJ's 1. Stats are really, really close. Score very close also. Okay, he didn't make a ball on the break there. He didn't make a ball on the break, and it's a crucial time of the match, 9-8 in favor of CJ.
Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. Here we get to check out CJ's pocket inability. Or look where he's left him. Now, that's tough, especially when a man's been playing like Steve against you. Then you leave that. You know what I mean? CJ, being courteous, trying to put his cigarette out before he got up. He tried to put it out. Let's see. That's a tough shot, boy. That was a tough shot right there. Considering that was a tough shot.
Okay, considering exactly what Buddy said, considering the pressures out there and how relentless Steve is in his pursuit to win this match, CJ wasn't able to pocket the 1 ball in the upper left-hand corner pocket. Steve steps to the table. The balls are open, and I'll identify the balls very shortly. 2 ball in the center of the table. 3 ball.
He overhit it.
3 ball. He did. He's going to have a problem playing position for the 3, which is located on the bottom cushion.
I think he'll pop this ball in and let the
Filipinos
cue ball
draw
bounce
this
off
ball.
the
I think
7.
he's going to play off the 7
I think
here.
he'll play it off the 7.
Off the
Let
7.
the cue ball come down. Oh, he spun it.
Oh, he's going to get rewarded
He
for
got
it.
Perfect.
Very, very nicely done. Perfectly executed shot, Steve Mizerak. Once again, playing position the professional way, knowing that if he comes up table for position in the side, that he has a lot of ways to drop onto the 5. Very nicely done once again, realizing that all he needs to do now is pocket the ball. He comes naturally cross table for the 6. Now he wants to come cross table far enough so he won't have to deal with the 8. Nice stroke.
I don't
Close.
think he got down quite as far as he wanted to on that shot, though, did he, Billy?
I think it's workable, though. He probably wanted it to come across and up table
I
a
think
couple more
he might have to
inches.
go down around. He might have to draw this 2 rails out of the other corner. No, he's going to take it straight back and off, I think. Straight back and outside the 9.
Excellent cue ball control once again, buddy. This man has definitely come to play today. Falling behind by 6-1. We thought this match was over considering how well his opponent CJ was playing.
I'll tell you something. You take somebody like Steve, and you let that somebody like Steve get in stroke on you with his ability. He can be as close to impossible to beat as you'll find.
Well, I'll tell
CJ's a
you.
good example of this. CJ's played a great match here, and it's knotted up, folks. It's 9 apiece.
Well, the spectators here at the Sands Hotel has certainly been treated to a great match. They have certainly been
I
treated
think
to a
both
great
players-
match.
I know CJ is still shooting right around 936. I think Steve's probably right at that number. No, it's 913, 929.
because of the miss on the 1.
Anytime you have 2
913.
players in the same match shoot over 900, it's unbelievable pull.
The stats are remarkably close in every area, and the score is knotted up at 9 apiece.
Yeah, it was a great match, boy. Now watch the control here. See, this right here is what's got him back in this match. Not only is he playing great, but he's doing great.
Okay, now he really didn't hit the ball with the velocity that he has been hitting them with, and is getting late in the match, 9 apiece.
Well, I tell you, he come up dry, but that's what he's been doing right there, folks. He's been controlling the break, making balls on the break, getting a shot, and running out. I wonder what the stats on running out from the break are in this match.
That information isn't available, but in the future it will be. Okay, now a little indecision right now, something that is very uncommon when this young man's at the table. He usually sees what he has to do immediately and he goes right to it. If the 2 will pass,
let's go by the 3.
If it'll go by the 3, he's hit it perfectly. 3 near the lower left-hand corner. 4 ball, the ball that he just brushed with the cue ball. 5 ball, and there's the lower right-hand corner.
Take that, he says. He's had like a third of a pocket there with that 3.
It's a shame to see either one of these players lose this match.
Are you sure one of them's going to?
I don't know. I like to see them race to about 30. I enjoy playing like this. I enjoy watching
one of them
people
losing?
play like this.
He's going to have to follow this 2 rails, isn't he?
No, he's going to play the combination.
Oh, the 9 ball.
He's going to play the combination here. He's in reasonably good line to draw the ball back. Okay, no, he doesn't need to draw it back.
Oh, he's solid, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
That's solid 9 ball there. That's solid, folks.
Okay, game number 19 goes to C.J. Wiley. The crowd responds and saying, "Oh, we like the way this young man from Dallas plays."
He's hanging in there, and he's trying to win, too.
10 games for Wiley, 9 for Mizerak. Mizerak racking the balls up. And C.J. will now prepare to break the balls for the last time in the match.
Look at C.J. He looks very composed.
Oh, he is composed.
Oh, he's solid.
He is composed.
He got right on out there. He's tough. He is tough. Mizerak, the knowledgeable man that he is, realizing
Look how
that
close this match is. 9:29 to 9:30. That's unbelievable.
it's an unbelievable match.
Okay, he's broken the balls very well, but it looks like he may come up dry. He may come up dry. Here he has,
Look
but
at where the
suffering a
one-
little consequence. The 1 ball and the cue ball finally came to rest right beside one another, possibly even frozen together.
I believe they are, at least within a 16th of an inch. It gives him very little room to work his shot.
You know, if the 2 was up the other end, of course, that's an if. If the 2 was up the other end, he'd have a workable shot here. But it isn't, so therefore, he's just going to have to give us...
Okay, now in the 10 games that Mizerak broke the balls, he pocketed the ball 6 of those 10 games. On the other hand, in the 10 games that Wiley's broken the balls, he's pocketed the ball 4 of those breaks, but he has scratched on 1 of them.
All right.
So actually, Steve has been out-breaking CJ, but he's certainly not happy with the result of this. But he is happy that he's at the table.
Absolutely.
You know? He could have been in the chair watching CJ run out the final rack. I don't know what's happening now.
Now, we came up with a rule now at the players' meeting. I think if this ball's froze, you can't shoot straight at it. Or if it is froze, you can shoot straight at it. But if it's not frozen, if it's just a little distance between the balls, they'll call a foul on you.
When did you come up with this rule?
That's what happened at the players' meeting. Isn't that right?
I don't remember it.
He may scratch here. This is a very difficult shot. If he doesn't scratch, he's hit it perfectly. I don't know. I don't believe he has a shot. I don't believe he has a shot.
He's going to kick that. He's got a kick.
Okay, very quickly now. The 2 ball is behind the 6 to the right of the foot spot. The 3 ball is up the table next to the cue ball. The 4 is next to the 3. And he must kick.
Boom.
He made the kick. He made the...
Ow, Mom.
He made the kick, and to Steve's delight, he scratched. But to look at the expression on CJ's face, he said, "Oh, what do I have to do? I thought I had it. I thought this match was mine, and all of a sudden..."
Now, does that take away from his stats?
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't take
No.
away from his stats. Well, I'll tell you what. Steve is going to put him on 2 here. Sticking the 1 up there close to the... I'd put the 1 as close to the 3 and 4 as I could.
Why? Why do you do this?
Why not? Go on 2.
Why do you do this? You want to run out. The balls are open.
Well, I didn't know that they could go by. I didn't know the 1 could go by the 6.
The 1 went past the 6.
Well, the 1 goes in the side, too.
It didn't look like the 1 went by the 6.
You've been hanging around Grady too long, buddy.
It did not look like the 1 went by the 6. I thought he was trying to stick him against the 6 when he lined it up there.
You're entitled to one error every tournament, and that's your error. I don't
a
wanna
tournament.
One a tournament, that's it. I tell you, this has been a very excellently played match by both of these players.
Well, we might get to watch this one knotted up.
This is a very important shot right here.
Ooh,
Very
that
important
ball
shot.
almost on.
Well, he cheated the pocket a little more than he needed to, and that's
Yeah.
why the ball shook his head a couple of times. But
With that rake,
disappeared. Okay, this is also an important shot. He needs to gain position on the 5, which is hanging in the lower left-hand corner pocket. He doesn't want to go too far over now. Okay, very nicely done.
Boy, these guys are playing good.
Straight
pool.
up for the 6 in the lower right-hand corner pocket.
Yeah, this may be the best played match I've watched all year.
Excellent cue ball speed. Excellent cue ball speed. This is actually textbook right here.
I'm certainly glad our director advised us to do this match instead of the other one.
Now, do you draw this straight back, or do you use a side cushion here? Or you look like he's following it.
He's following it. He wants really a 2-rail angle at it. He wants
Okay,
the
excellent
2-rail
speed
angle.
once again. Maybe, almost.
That's a little funny.
Okay,
That's
now,
just a
but he'll
little
draw
funny.
this. He'll draw this across table. Across the table. To the right. Eventually ended up to the right of him, the cue ball. Cross table. Oh no, he said. He said, oh no.
He's all right.
He
He said, oh no,
He's
but he
not
got
gonna
below
but he's
the 8.
below it.
He's got the
He
wrong
got
angle.
below
Below
the
it.
8. Now he's going to have to go around the table, and this could
Drop
be
into the
troublesome.
small
He's got to play the
area.
short side.
This
He's
could
gotta
be
play the
troublesome.
short
That's
side.
right.
He's got to play the short side of the 9, and this definitely is a problem.
The shorts. See, that's what I don't like about that draw shot. That's why I like the 2 rails. You can play the 2 rails and play the cue ball directly into the center diamond and have control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing it like that, when you draw it, it's whipping. When it hits the first rail over there, you really got absolutely no idea exactly how that ball's going to come off.
You're right.
You know the direction, but you don't know how that spin's going to come off.
Okay, this is the crucial shot of the match coming up right here. The crucial shot of the match, up until this point of the match, that is. I mean, he can go around.
Oh, Wiley done shot, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
He's got to go to the short side. It's dangerous.
You don't want to pull it back. That
He
big,
says,
that
"I know
corner
it's going
pocket,
right in." He
that
says, "I
corner
know it's
pocket,
going right
yeah,
in."
that corner pocket, the 3 cushions around table, that corner pocket is the big as the Grand Canyon.
It sure is. It sure is.
But he knows this is a necessitating situation. He has to shoot eventually, and he knows that.
Uh-huh. Oh, he's going. You know what you're liable to do here? What you have a tendency to do here?
He might play this long down in
I
play
seen him do
position.
this with Nick Varner, and it cost him a set. Trying to reverse that.
He's going to
ball.
get real close to the 9 here.
He was trying to reverse
This is going
the
to be
ball
close
just
to the
like
9
he
here.
did.
He needs to kiss. He needs to kiss.
Just like he did with Nick.
I don't know if he's gotten his left-handed. That's going to create a problem also.
He'll shoot this shot right-handed, and he'll
Here we're
make
going to
it.
watch the foul on the cue ball. Watch the foul on the cue ball, and watch the scratch up table. Watch the scratch up table. Watch the scratch up table.
All right,
Oh,
all right.
we have a 10-10 match here. This has been a beautifully played match, and it's only fitting that it should come down 10-10.
Absolutely. It well-deserved 10-10 here. That's right.
Pat, this is definitely a keeper. This is definitely a keeper. No question about it.
Yeah, Pat.
Definitely a keeper.
Make plenty of copies of this one, Pat. You might put this one on the shelf that says the most expensive tapes.
And for your customers that call up, we're going to have a list of keepers that'll be, labeled by myself and possibly Buddy as our keepers. This will be one of them.
Right.
There they are. There's the stats.
Of our keepers, this is the keeper.
10 apiece. Final game of the match.
What was the other stat? What was the stat on Miz?
Okay. Once again, he didn't really get the velocity into the break that he
Come up
has
dry.
been in prior breaks. He's come up dry, and this is something that he didn't want to happen.
left him
He
a
came up
roadmap,
dry.
too.
It's not a road map. 1 to the 2 is tough.
All he's got to do is draw straight back.
Yeah, how you going to draw straight back when you got an angle?
He didn't have that much of it. The one's not froze either.
Let's go into the mic, talking to the mic, fellas.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Let's see what he does. Let's see how he stands, holds up.
He's drawn it back perfectly.
See how he holds up.
Okay, 3 balls, the ball nearest the left-hand side pocket. The 4 ball is underneath the foot spot slightly. This is the key shot right here, 3 to the 4.
corner.
He needs a correct angle on the 4. If he gets the correct angle on the 4 to drop into the 5, this rack could be history.
He doesn't need to start thinking, boys.
He needs to get below the 4 slightly. Maybe he's gotten a little too far below the 4. He's going to have to draw, maybe hit the 7 here. Okay, now this
Doesn't bother him.
This is the shot, though. Nothing is natural on this shot
What's he
here.
gonna
He's
do?
going to
He's
drop
try and
under
kill
the
the cue
6.
ball?
No,
He's
he'll
gonna
drop
go
under
around
the
the
6.
6?
Drop under the 6.
Nothing is natural here. He has to do something with the cue ball.
He did try and kill
man.
it. He killed it good, too.
Man.
That's working in very close quarters, 10-10. I don't know if I would like to do that.
That's having nerve like a high diver, folks. That is having nerves like a high diver right there. Shoot that 5 like he did.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You believe how
I
fast he's run this rack out.
thoroughly have enjoyed this match.
I
And if we
absolutely
listen-
cannot believe he shot this rack off in about a minute.
Less than a minute.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Wow, what a great match.
The response of the crowd is testimony how much they've
What a
enjoyed this
great
match also.
Look.
Let's take, oh, that's a beautiful freeze there. That's a beautiful
That's a
paint
beautiful
freeze. The
freeze
entire
there.
match was done very nicely. Absolutely the best match I've watched in quite some time.
It's as close
Man.
as a match can get.
Look at errors and everything. Balls missed 3 apiece.
And the next time this young man from Dallas,
Kicking
Texas
errors,
goes to the table,
Position errors.
people will be crowding around the table trying to
Ah.
get a seat for this match, for his next match.
Leave those up there and let Wiley look at those stats. Here he comes. Yeah.
Okay, C.J.
He has something
Wiley.
to say too, Dave.
C.J. Wiley has stepped into the booth here, and we'll have an opportunity to talk with the young man from Dallas, Texas. Well, C.J., once again, congratulations on an almost perfect performance yesterday. It's
Look at
very,
your stats over there.
very reminiscent of yesterday's match between you and Nick Varner. Your stats on this match, 937. Yesterday, you only shot a 929.
I know, I was
you
playing
improved.
bad
Yeah. You improved on yesterday's performance, which I didn't think you could, but obviously I was wrong. How did you feel out there? You look great playing out there today.
I felt a lot more comfortable today. Yesterday,
Well,
I got a lot of the little jitters out of my stroke.
I'll tell you one
So,
thing. Both of you guys played a great match. You
Yeah.
both played excellent.
And
Tell
if
you
you-
what, I had him 6-1, and he came back and made it.
Yeah,
10
but you
to
didn't.
10.
He come back not from errors you were
Right.
making, but
I mean,
from right
that's
things
what I
that
mean.
he
I
was
couldn't
doing.
stop his break. He breaks them really
Steve
well.
Mizerak has one of the better breaks on the tour today in the sense that he hits the one ball so squarely. He doesn't put a lot of velocity into his break, but he hits the one ball so squarely that he gets a lot of action.
You should
because
buy
of-
this tape and take it home and watch it. You'll be proud of this tape.
Yeah,
this
I'd
is
like
a good tape.
everybody at home to see this, too.
This is a good tape.
Being
It's
from
really
a town of
good tape.
629 people, I'm sure they'll be impressed.
Well, we Buddy and I have a preferred tape list now, okay? And there are certain tapes every tournament that we put in the preferred tape category, and this certainly is one of them. That's for sure.
Great. I'm glad to be a part of it.
And what you say, then what you've already said at the table, playing nearly perfect pool once again. This is 2 consecutive matches now where you've played nearly perfect pool. Your next opponent, I know it really doesn't matter, and it shouldn't, because if I was playing as well as you have played the
I
last 2
wouldn't
matches,
be afraid of anybody.
I don't think they're going to play better than Steve played against me because
No,
he
they're
came
not.
at me.
He's a
He certainly
great
did.
player. Steve is a great player. You beat a water moccasin.
Yes.
Yes,
I
and
know.
and he was coming after. He was trying to win that set.
Yeah, he was going for the throat.
Yes, sir. And had he got a shot on the end, he would have run out
Yes,
on you.
and I knew that.
Yes.
Yeah, but what's so impressive about your game? There's a lot of things that are impressive about your game, but your unflappable demeanor at the table. In other words, nothing seems to bother you. You can remain composed all the time at the table. That's something that's very, very, very valuable. That's
Yes.
definitely an asset.
And that's something that's been earned. I've had my share of hard knocks.
Well, anyway, good playing, son.
Thanks a
and
lot,
keep
bud.
it up, and you might just go ahead and walk off with the
The lion's share of this
I'd
I'd
like
race.
Regency title.
I'll tell you what, that's a dream come true for me.
I'd like to see you do it.
Thanks a lot, bud.
Okay, thanks
Proud
a
of
lot.
you. Good
Thanks
shoot.
a lot for showing up for an interview, and thanks a lot for showing up for the tournament. It's been a pleasure watching you play.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it.
Freeze. Look at the freeze.
Well, buddy, I certainly enjoyed thoroughly doing that match with you. I mean, and
I
Dave
enjoyed
Bollman.
it too. It's a good match.
It certainly was in every regard. The regard that this young man from Dallas, Texas, is showing the people here at the Sands Hotel that, hey, there's a new kid on the block. I deserve
that's
a little bit of
exactly right.
attention
There
out here,
is
and
a
I think in
new
the
kid on
in the near future he's going to get a lot of attention.
He's got
not only
attention
from
right
the
now.
not only from the spectators but from his peers.
Right. He's getting a lot of attention right now.
Once again, thanks a lot, Dave Bowen, for doing the match with Buddy and I. Buddy, once again, it's been a pleasure. And the credits now are rolling, produced and directed by Pat Fleming, our man. Commentary by myself, Bill Incardona, and Buddy Hall. And if you want to buy this tape, or for that matter, any tape in Pat Fleming's inventory list, oh, by the way, there's Rick Boley, our expert cameraman. Thanks a lot, Rick. You did a splendid job once again. Pat Fleming Jr., I don't want you to go unnoticed. You work diligently behind
Jr.,
the...
excellent job.
Yes. I mean, this match is a keeper. Don't forget, anyone that calls up, direct them to the Mizerak C.J. Wiley match. Who's C.J. Wiley? Well, they'll know when they watch this match. 1-800-828-0397. Call now.